Okay, let's talk about something that's happening right now in millions of homes. It's this silent epidemic, and no, it's not a virus, but its effects on our kids can be just as damaging. We're talking about screen addiction, and we're going to get into how these little glowing rectangles are literally changing our children's brains. To really get a sense of just how much our world has shifted, let's just paint a picture. Let's imagine two very different family evenings. So picture this, the 1990s. The families in the living room, they're actually present, talking, laughing, connecting. Now fast forward to today. Same room, but it's filled with that blue glow from all the screens. Dad's on his phone, mom is watching a show, the kids are on a tablet and Instagram. They're all physically there, but mentally, they are miles apart, each one lost in their own digital world. And that's the real gut punch here, the shift from connected and talking to disconnected and silent. And, at first glance, it might seem harmless, right? Just a quiet evening. But that's exactly what we need to unpack, because hiding behind that silence are some really dangerous consequences for our kids. So, let's start with the stuff we can see, the tangible stuff, the direct physical harm that all this screen time is doing to our children's bodies. The World Health Organization, the experts, they couldn't be more clear about this. For kids under 2 years old, the recommended amount of screen time is 0. That's it. 0. Not a single minute. But here's what's actually happening. In India, the average for that exact same age group is 1.2 hours a day. We're going directly against the best advice out there, right from the very beginning. Just let that sink in for a second. And no, that isn't just a line to get your attention. It's a shocking fact. It shows just how much our kids' lives have moved indoors, glued to screens. And it's having some really serious consequences. And here's where it all connects. First up, myopia, or nearsightedness. Because kids aren't outside, they're not getting enough natural light, which is crucial for eye development. And the projection here is just staggering. By 2050, half of all children in India might need glasses. Then there's obesity, which makes sense, right? You're not moving and you're just mindlessly eating while you watch. And finally, and this one is a huge deal, sleep disorders. Messing with a kid's sleep messes with everything. Let's quickly talk about why this happens. See, the blue light from screens basically tells your brain, hey, it's daytime, wake up. This shuts down the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. And get this effect is twice as strong in kids as it is in adults. So the result? They struggle to fall asleep, and they get less of that deep, restorative sleep that they desperately need to grow. Okay, so the physical stuff is pretty bad. But honestly, what's happening inside our children's brains? That might be even more alarming. And the key thing to understand here is that this isn't just about bad habits. We are talking about actual physical changes to the structure of the brain. The parts of the brain responsible for crucial life skills, like controlling your emotions or interacting with other people, are being weakened. There was this one video that went viral. A mother pretended to collapse, coughing like she was seriously ill. 2 of her 3 kids, they didn't even look up from their screens. It's like they were in a trance. This is so common now that it's led to this terrifying new term, virtual autism. Now, this isn't clinical autism. It's a set of symptoms that look a lot like it. Things like social withdrawal and major language delays that are brought on by too much screen time and not enough human interaction. Think about Priya's daughter. She was saying mama and papa, but after being put in front of screens all day, her speech just stopped. It makes sense, right? Kids learn to talk by watching our mouths move, by interacting with us. A screen can't do that. And the data on this is just wow. A huge study of over 7,000 kids found a direct link. For babies under 1 year old, just 1 to 4 hours of screen time a day triples their risk of developmental delays by the time they're 2. And if it's over 4 hours a day, that risk skyrockets to almost 5 times higher. So why? Why is this happening? Why is it so incredibly hard for kids to just put the phone down? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it has everything to do with the science of addiction. I want you to meet Arav. He's a 9-year-old boy whose parents, gave him a phone early on just to keep him occupied. By the time they realized something was wrong and tried to take it away, his addiction was so deep that he would throw these violent tantrums, even hitting his head against the wall. He was in withdrawal. This is the textbook addiction cycle. The fast-paced, engaging content gives their brain a big hit of dopamine. That's the pleasure chemical.
And the brain's reward system just loves it. But the brain is smart. It adapts. It becomes less sensitive to that dopamine hit. And that means the child needs more and more screen time for longer and longer just to get that same good feeling.
Let's just be really, really clear about this. The way a child like Arav reacts when the phone is taken away, the anger, the tantrums, the withdrawal, neurologically, it is similar to the reaction of a drug addict.
And you have to understand, this is not an accident. Content like the show Cocomelon is scientifically engineered to get kids hooked. You've got these super bright colors, catchy, repetitive music, and, this is the big one, insanely rapid scene changes, like every 2 or 3 seconds. It's all designed to hijack a child's developing brain, basically short-circuiting their attention span and making the slow, normal pace of real life seem totally boring.
Okay, I know all that data is pretty alarming, but the situation is not hopeless. So the question is, how do we, as parents, as caregivers, how do we start taking back control? Here are a few practical things you can do. First, and this is the most important one, you have to model the behavior. Put your own phone down. Kids see what you do, not what you say. Second, create screen-free zones. The dinner table and bedrooms are a great place to start. Third, set clear, firm limits on screen time. Fourth, fill that time with other things. Board games, puzzles, reading, and especially outdoor play. And finally, and this is key, make it a team effort. It's not you versus your child. It's you and your child together against the pull of the screen. Now, this next point is a really fundamental shift in how we need to think about this. A child isn't actually addicted to the piece of glass and metal in their hands. They're addicted to what that device gives them. Think about it. The screen gives them constant attention. It gives them instant validation with likes and points. It gives them a feeling of connection. A screen never says, "Not right now, honey, I'm busy." It's always there. So the final and most important question we have to ask ourselves is this. If we take that screen away, who is going to provide those things for them instead?